Song number 3, Fade to Black by Metallica from the album Blackened. The structure. Okay, the structure of Fade to Black might seem a little bit confusing at the beginning, but it is pretty simple once you get the idea. Most of the thrash and metal rock songs entail way more bridges, solos, melody variations, and pre-verse melodies than progressive or classic rock songs do. However, the main structure behind all those complications is pretty simple. As you can see, this song starts with a short acoustic intro, which is repeated 5 times and which is accompanied by the small guitar solo. Afterwards, the main guitar part comes into play as the pre-verse melody and the first verse of the song is being sung. Next, there's the metal part of the rhythm guitars, and afterwards, the same pre-verse melody is played, followed by the verse 2 part of the song. Again, the same metal part of the rhythm guitars occurs, and then the song goes into the new section of a completely different verse 3, which is connected by the short guitar bridge part to the previous melody line. Here starts the main hardcore part of the song, with distorted vocal parts accompanied by the thrash and hardcore guitar parts. Then, the song is followed by the long closing solo, which starts with some harmonics played simultaneously by 2 guitars. The song ends in a fade-out. All of these may sound pretty scary, but do not worry. Let us summarize the whole structure. Intro plus solo. Pre-verse melody 1, verse 1, hardcore rhythm guitar bridge 1, pre-verse melody 2, verse 2, hardcore rhythm guitar bridge 2, short guitar bridge, verse 3, guitar harmonics, and a long solo part. As you can see, the structure of metal songs also contains 3 main components, which are verse, guitar solo, and chorus, in the form of guitar bridges. As far as metal and thrash are more recent rock genres, they are also more complicated and advanced than hard rock. However, it is important to notice this fundamental similarity with hard rock and progressive rock in structure. After you recognize this fundamental similarity of structure, then everything will become more clear and easy for you. You will just use the basic structure in your own songwriting and make some variations and improvisations, which again depend on your creativity. Note, many things in music composition depend on creativity and imagination. Knowing basic structures and melody lines is important, just so you have a point where you can always start your songwriting process. The rest will depend only upon your creative abilities. The melody line. Note that the song uses the following chords: A minor, C, D, E minor, F, and G, which means that we are in the E minor scale. The song never goes out of the scale, and as you can see, the basic melodic structure is pretty simple. If you look at the tabs and the chords of the song, you will be scared once more. Moreover, if you look at the solos, then you might become desperate. Do not be scared. All those notes and messy notations are just because of using various guitar playing techniques. If you just abstract from those techniques, then the thing that remains is the very simple sequence of logically and nicely arranged simple chords from the E minor scale. Remember that our aim here is to figure out how to write rock songs, not to learn different guitar playing techniques, which are the job of the instrumentalists and the guitarists. Note, being a songwriter is very different from being an instrumentalist. Songwriters follow the basic song structures and melodic lines, use their own creativity and sense of aesthetics, and write the songs. Instrumentalists take those songs written by the songwriters and add meat to them. Of course, you can be an instrumentalist and a songwriter at the same time, and when this happens, it is wonderful, but there are only a few who are good at both. Returning to our song example number 3, you can see that it uses a very specific and standard sequence of the chords for the first and second verses. A minor, C, G, and E minor is a very popular chord sequence which is used in many rock songs. This sequence creates a melody line which is beautiful and easy to remember and internally understand. You can also use this sequence to try and sing some random pieces of vocal part along. You could easily come up with a very nice vocal part just doing this.